Hi friends, welcome back to Faith and Arrow Homestead. My name is Jaylee and we are on the new property, finally giving you guys a tour. I've got my dad with me. He's going to be the guy behind the camera. We're going to take you around and show you everything that there is to see here on this new property. I'm very excited, but before we get into that, I need to tell you about a brand that I'm working with, Hisea. And I just want you guys to know the reason I want to go into a whole thing here in the beginning of this video is because this is the very first brand that I am partnering with my channel, Faith and Arrow Homestead. And I've had many offers, all of which I've said no to. Hisea was my first one, and that is because it is very important to me that I build a reputation of trust with you guys. I absolutely do not want to come to you with a product just for the sake of having a company to work with or a product to show you. I want to make sure that whatever I'm coming to you guys with is going to help you on your health, homesteading, or homemaking journey, and is going to be a product that will actually add value to your lives. So when Hisea reached out to me, I said, listen, you know, I've not said yes to any companies yet. I am willing to work with you, but my only ask is that you let me wear the boots for a little while before I am required to put any content out about these boots. And they said, yeah, of course. Unfortunately, the original pair of boots that they sent me got lost in the mail, like literally straight up lost. I put a claim in and everything, and United States Postal Service responded to me saying, yeah, they're gone, like they're missing. And I said, okay. So Hisea was very kind to send me another pair of boots, which I'm wearing now, and I'll show you in a moment. But because of that, the process and getting the new pair of boots took so long. I really wanted to debut this on this video of the tour of the property because it'll give you a great idea. You'll be able to see the boots out in action here on the new property. So I wanted to be upfront and honest with you guys and say my intentions were good. It didn't quite pan out that way, but you will see these boots, especially coming into the 2024 gardening season. And as we are working on this property, I have many videos planned where we will be out here implementing new projects and doing new things, and I'll be able to continue giving you guys an honest review of these boots. But I'm coming to you today to announce that I'll be working with Hisea, and I am very excited. So I ended up having them send me the Aqua X women's rubber rain boots. They're supposedly totally waterproof. That's why I chose these, because this property, and I don't think I've said this yet, this property has a giant creek. It has trout that swims through this creek, and it is, I mean, you can't jump across it. It's massive, and it runs through this property, and you will be seeing it in this tour. So I thought, what better boot to have them send me so that I can give you guys like a really quality review than a boot that claims to be waterproof. So I will be walking through that creek today to see. Also, it is 26 degrees today. So I have, I'm about a 5.5, 6 shoe size. I ordered a size 6 because I wanted to be able to wear my nice warm cabin socks with these boots. And with my cabin socks, I have a little bit of room in here. So I think the boots are probably a little on the larger side. So let's see if I can feel my toes after we walk through the creek in these boots. Hi, Editing Jaylee here. Can you tell that I am not used to working with brands or collaborating with anybody? I am doing the editing right now for this tour video, and I realized I never even gave you my code. That's like the most important part. So if you guys are interested in shopping with Hisea, then use the code Faith and Arrow to get 15% off their entire website. I have a link down in the description for that. And again, I have the Aqua X rubber rain boots in pink camo. You will be seeing them throughout this video. They're awesome. But yeah, I could not believe that. I was editing and I was like, great job. You're doing a great job, honey. Didn't even mention your code. We're getting there. I'll get my act together, I promise. So my dad's out here patiently waiting to grab this camera. Let's go ahead and show you guys around this property. All right, so the plan here is to just kind of go clockwise around the property. So right now we're standing in the driveway. I've got the house behind us here. Like I've said, I'm not going to show you a whole lot of the house because it's my parents' private residence, but you'll probably see the back of it because the barns and the gardens are going to be back here. So you'll see it in the back of my shots. And they've got quite a bit of landscaping that they have to do. They've been told that they need to rip out everything around the house because it could potentially mess with the foundation. So there's a lot of landscaping that's going to be done. But this house has an awesome back deck where I foresee many family dinners being held. Now when we move this way, off the back of the house, we've got a little basketball court, and we have a little shed here that we're calling my dad's smoke shack. My dad loves to grill, and he's got a smoker. He loves to cook meat and be outside, and so my mom told him, you can have this, do what you want with it, and he said, it's going to be my smoke shack. So if you come this way, this is really exciting because it actually has its own little porch. And my dad said that he wants to put a TV in there, a fridge. He's gonna have his grills and whatnot. He'll be able to be right out here on the patio, rain or shine, grilling and smoking meat. And then when we turn ourselves this way, come around here, so yep. My dad had the great idea of putting like picnic tables or something right here, right in front of the smoke shack, so that my family can be out here with him while he's cooking, and we can be hanging out, eating, spending time together. Now, this section here, like I said, is gonna be reserved for like picnic tables and whatnot, but then when we start to look out at the property this way, this is where the gardens are going to be. Probably. Everything that I tell you guys is kind of generally what we're thinking, but absolutely nothing is set in stone yet. And me and my parents really need to sit down and draw out plans and say, hey, this is definitely what we want to do. But we're thinking that this portion of the property is going to be gardens. Now, it's already pretty open, and I would say that this is like maybe a 1/4 acre, would you say, Dad? That's cleared? Everything back here, all of this brush that you can hopefully see, all of that needs to be cleared. Now at the back of the property is where the creek is, and going up to it, there's a bit of a ravine. All of that is my parents' property. So although it's 5 acres, it's not 5 flat acres. And the ravine going down to the creek is not suitable for anything but stairs. My parents want to put in a set of stairs so we can access the creek more easily, but you can't see it from this angle, but we can clear all of this land up to the ravine. And there's probably another 1/4 acre of brush and whatnot that needs to be cleared. So that is very high on our list of priorities, is to get this cleared, because we're thinking we can do gardens and orchard all here on this piece of the land here. Now, when we turn, so we've got the house, the smoke shack, here we've got the barn. And yes, we are gonna go inside the barn for this tour. We do not know the age of this barn. The house was built in the mid-1800s, and we can make some inferences about the barn based on certain things, like, what's it called, Dad, when they use the pegs and whatnot? Does that have a name?
And there's hand-hewn logs.
Hand-hewn logs, and
That's
they didn't
frame.
use nails all the time. They did like the dowels and
It was
whatnot.
all
I'm
put
not
together
good
with
with that terminology,
Wooden
but
dowels.
yeah, there's things that make us think that this barn is at least 100 years old, and it needs work for sure. It needs to be shored up. There are places where it looks a little iffy, but we definitely plan on fixing this up and using this barn. For what, I do not know, but let's go take a look inside. So it is definitely very messy in here, and it needs to be majorly cleaned out. However, me and my parents are really excited to get in here and start exploring, because this was actually an estate. So the person who owned this passed away, and his children sold it. And they left a lot of stuff. They cleaned the house out mostly, but these outbuildings are full of stuff, as you'll see when we get to the next structure that's on this property. So if you look up here, there's all sorts of stuff up there, and we don't even know. We gotta get a ladder and get up there and see. So it's just very exciting. You can see by looking at the ceiling, this is definitely an older barn. You can see the beams. It's very, very cool. But then if you look like over here, it's very obvious that there's work to be done in this barn. Look at this beam down here, Dad.
I know, I love that beam.
Very cool. And this one too.
Yeah.
Oh, show them the dowels. That's what I mean when I'm talking about like the dowels and whatnot.
No nails, all wooden dowels.
So that makes us think that this is an older barn, but we don't have a for sure age on it. So this portion of the barn, for starters, is probably going to be used for storage. But the other part of this barn, which you can only access from the outside, we are actually going to clean and start using right away. It's going to be a video of its own, and I can't wait to show it to you. Don't trip, Dad. Look at you in your boots. How they feel? So I don't know if this part of the barn was an add-on or if it's original. I really have no idea. But you can see here this little chicken or rooster, and that's because this was originally used as a chicken coop. Definitely needs work and needs to be cleaned and needs to be made secure for the chickens and whatever other birds we decide to get. But I want to show you just how big it is in here because we have so much room in here. So let's go this way. A little bit of a hallway. And then this is actually a door. We've got the boobop with us. Come on, Bee. There's glass right here. So let's, Ben, go. Go through here. Go. 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 Ah. Ben, I want him to go this way. Stand right here. Benny Blue, come. Come on, come in here. There's broken glass right there, so I wanted Benny to go through. But if you look around in here, kind of pan through, Dad, it is so big in here. High ceilings. I see that they use chicken wire. I want to make that more secure with hardware cloth. We've got a window up here. It's incredible.
Again, the hand-hewn beams.
Yeah. There's nails up there though, or big staples even, so that's not old. That does make me think that this was added on. And then here, another door. Does this even close? Oh! Yeah, when it's clean, it
does. A little bit of cleaning out, and it'll be totally functional.
Yes, it will. This is the cool part. When you come in here, this is awesome, you guys. This was definitely the chicken coop before because look at this.
Built-in nesting boxes.
And the chandelier. There's a chandelier in here.
Moving on up.
Before we talk about logistics, there's one more really cool thing that I want to show you, and it's down here. There is a mummified possum that was shot. It's got a bullet wound right here. So somebody came out and heard the chickens causing a ruckus, found a possum, shot it dead, and then just left it. And when we saw that, when we were out here doing the final walkthrough, we got the biggest tickle out of that. That was so funny. But yeah, in here I have a whole video planned. We're gonna come in, totally clean this out because obviously I don't know the story here. What happened? There was very obviously chickens in here and it just got left and no cleaning. This is full of chicken droppings and whatnot, or even maybe other birds. It's a mess in here. So we got to come in, totally clean this out. I'm just realizing those are walnuts. Look at all those walnuts.
I know. I think squirrels were using them.
Oh, squirrels in here.
For their food storage.
So there you go. We've got to make this. Oh, and there's bees or wasps up there.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot to be done in here. Not just from a cleaning standpoint, but from a safety standpoint. Obviously, a possum got in here, right? So there are areas on the floor and whatnot where the floor is not meeting the wall, and this just really needs to be made more secure. I'm even seeing up here, Dad, gaps where the ceiling's not meeting the wall. Absolutely, critters can get in here and get our chickens.
Yeah, that's going to be unacceptable. So,
yeah, so
we have to address all of that.
Yeah.
But very excited to do so.
Yeah. So this is going to be a really fun project, and I'm really excited to bring that to my channel. And this is exactly the kind of content that I was talking about when I said there's going to be fun, new, exciting stuff coming to this channel. We're going to get in here and clean this out, and then my parents are going to get their own chickens. No, they're not taking my chickens. I'm keeping mine, and they're going to get their own. So it's going to be very exciting. So let's come on out here. So just to orient you where we are, we just came out of the barn, and if you turn and look this way, this is where we said we're gonna have the gardens and the orchards and whatnot. And if you pan this way, this is all that property that I was just saying needs to be cleared. So there's probably, actually, Dad, let's walk this way and show them from the side. All of this here needs to be cleared. And then there's a little bit of a path right here. Careful, Ben. Benny Blue, come back. There's a... Stay. The ravine, the drop off to take you down to the creek is right here where this big tree is. Right on the other side, it drops right down. So all of this property all the way up to where it's cleared needs to be cleared, and then we will have even more room to work with. The same can be said for this side over here. So we've got the barn where we just were, and then another little bit of an opening, and on this other side there's more room for this to be cleared because the ravine runs pretty straight back. And so all of this, careful right there, Dad, all of this can be cleared and used for whatever. If we end up doing the gardens over here, if we want to have animals over here, bees, whatever we want to do. It's just so exciting that there's so much space on this property. So let's walk this way. I want to give you a better idea of how much open land acreage is available here. So this is still where I was saying it needs to be cleared, continues to go. My parents own, there's a service road that connects the main road to the fields behind this property where a farmer does, I don't know, corn or wheat or whatever he's doing back there. And so my parents own all the way up to the service road, but at a little bit of an angle. So all of this that you're seeing here, all of this can be cleared and used for whatever. Now, the reason I'm not sure if we're going to put the orchards back behind where the gardens are going to be, or maybe somewhere else, is because there are already, I thought he was pooping. There are already trees here, and these are pretty new. So we've got 6 trees right here that have been planted relatively recently, and then there are 3 trees right here that we think may be What is this? Is that an apple? Or is that a pear?
I think it's an apple.
Or is it a plum?
I'm not sure.
This is a fruit tree! I think that might be a plum.
Might be.
So these are some sort of fruit tree. And these are all very mature, very big. And then these are little babies. Some of them look like they might be 3 years old.
Yep.
And so it just depends, because if we clear all of this, we could absolutely do orchard just right here. There's no reason to move it if it already exists here. So that's what I mean when I say this is all, nothing set in stone. We really need to get into the spring and summer season and see what's going on here to really make those big permanent decisions like that. But let's keep going this way. There's a little bit of a barrier here with these, what, pine trees, right? Is that what those are? Or
yep.
Evergreens? Which is actually really cool because, as you guys may have heard me mention in the announcement video for this property, Tom and I may end up living on this property. We may perhaps build a house on this property. We're not sure yet. Kind of God's will, whatever he wants us to do. It's not time for that yet, so we're just kind of laying low. But the opportunity is present for us to do that because my parents also own all of this, and it's already relatively cleared. So let's walk and I'll show you guys, because it's this little gap here, this little open space right here. And then on the other side of these more mature pine trees, there's another open little section over here too. This looks like a willow, I'm noticing.
It is a willow.
There's a willow! I bet that's so pretty.
Yep, that absolutely is.
Oh my gosh,
giant
look at
willow
this.
tree.
Oh, I bet this is gorgeous.
I bet it is.
Oh, I love that.
I can't wait for spring.
I know. The wildlife on this property is insane. There are animal tracks just everywhere. Literally littered around me right now are deer tracks in this soft earth that I'm standing on. Wildlife just evident everywhere, which is not good for my garden, but really good for our mental health. It's fun, you know. This is the other section of cleared land. It's directly connected to the one I just showed you, separated by another hedge of pine trees, and this is all open right here. And like I said, my parents own all the way to the service road, which you'll be seeing in a moment. And so all of this, that line right there, all can be cleared. And there's another, probably what, half acre beyond that.
Easily a half acre.
Yeah, maybe even an acre.
Maybe
that
even.
could be cleared, and this could be expanded long ways,
Yes,
that way,
for
width-wise. So there's more than enough room here for Tom and I to build a house. That's not the question. The question is there enough room here for us to farm? As it stands here, do I think we could have a dairy cow here? Yeah, probably we could pull it off. Do I think we could have a house and a dairy cow? I really think we're pushing it at that point. I don't think so. So we just need to wait and see what happens. But I think that there's more than enough for us to do here on this property for the next couple of seasons before we need to worry about any of that. But I'm just showing you for the tour and kind of letting you know what I'm thinking, what we're thinking. So yeah, isn't this incredible? Look at all this open space. It's amazing. Benny Blue, come. So there's one more thing on this main property that I want to show you before we go to the creek. We're going to go to the creek last. So now we're just walking back towards the house. You keep walking. There's one more structure that I want to show you, and we're calling this, I think, the shop.
The shop.
We're calling it the shop. And my mom calls it the new barn, the old barn and the new barn. And this is another barn-like structure that exists on this property, but you can definitely tell that the old owner used it for animal processing because it's got the, what's that called?
The hanging bars.
Yeah, the hanging bars that you would like hang the animal from to process it. And it's got one of those scales that's attached to the ceiling that you would hook it on so you could weigh it hanging from the ceiling. So you can definitely tell that he was processing animals in there, which is probably one of the things that we're going to use it for as well. My mom is also crafty and she wants to do things like make soap and refinish furniture and whatnot, so it could also be used as a space for that. We're not going to go inside it because my parents are using it for storage right now, but I'm going to show you where on the property it is. So old barn over there, we were already in there, and then the shop or the new barn is right here. House is right there. This property also has a well. It's the middle of winter, so we haven't used it yet, and we're afraid to use it in the winter time. I don't know if it's frozen or what's going on with it, but it was advertised in the listing as having a well, so I would like to think that it's working, which is very exciting. I'm excited to look into that more. So yeah, now going counterclockwise, we've got the new barn or the shop, and then over here we've got the old barn. We've got the area where we're likely going to do the gardens, my dad's smoke shop for when we grill out and have family dinners, and then we've got the house and the back deck. So now you guys, it's time to take you down to the creek. This is the part that I'm the most excited for because I just never thought that we would be so blessed to have running water like that on our property. I spent a few years of my childhood on an 80-acre horse farm that had a pond in the back, and we would swim and I guess what canoe, I think it was a canoe we had, and we would fish, and I have such fond family memories, and I never thought I'd be so lucky to have another body of water on a property like that again. And this creek is spectacular, and I definitely think it's one of the things that drew my parents to this property when they were shopping around. So I'm very excited to show you guys. Dad, are we gonna walk there or do you want to drive there?
You want to drive there? We can drive there.
Whatever you think.
Fine.
You want to drive?
Yeah.
We're gonna drive there. So we're in the car right now, and this is so we're just, road's right there. We just barely turned onto it. This is the service road that connects the main road to this field back here where this guy's farming. So my parents own to the road there, and then it goes at kind of an angle that way. So not quite all of this, but still quite a bit that could be cleared.
Soy.
Is it soy?
Might be soy. Oh, there's a blue heron flying away, and a duck. 2 ducks, a mallard and a female.
I caught that heron.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. There are the ducks. Look it. Guys, this creek is no joke. Oh, there goes the duckies. Wow, all the wildlife. Very cool. So this is that guy's field here. And then this is the creek side. And my parents' house is in there. You just can't really see it because of all the brush. All right, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it real well on the camera, but Dad, if you pan over, you can see the barn from here, just barely. It's pretty far back there. So we're just on the other side of the creek and that big ravine.
What a beautiful creek. I think it's beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous down here.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
Yes, it is.
Here, let's come right here. There's a good clear spot right here. There you go. Look at that water's real clear. You can see
Crystal
right down
clear.
to
Yep.
the bottom.
And the salmon and the trout running here, so
That's what they say.
I can't wait to see. I like it. I like it a lot.
What do you think? Are you ready to test these boots?
Go for it.
I'm a little scared. It's really cold. I think my feet are gonna be cold, but maybe not. Got it. Benjamin Blue Levesque. Are you kidding me?
He loves
I
it.
should have known. I should have known he was going to do that. All right. Are you crossing with me, bud? What can I cannot believe he did that. Oh, see, the current right here is like wanting to take my legs away when I pick them up. Oh yeah, that's a really strong current. My feet are totally dry.
She made it across.
It's huge.
All the way across. With dry feet.
My feet are dry and they're warm.
That's awesome.
My feet are not cold. The current right here is so strong.
Pretty strong.
I'm like having to engage my thigh muscles to keep me.
She did it. Yay!
Guys, I'm not kidding. My feet are totally dry. You got the zoomies? You got the zoomies? You got the zoomies? Come on. Anyway, my feet are dry and they're warm. These boots are amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend.
There's that swing.
What is it?
There's a swing.
There's a swing?
Right there. See it? Hanging?
Oh,
Yep, sure is.
a swing. Wow. Aw. What? You guys can't really see it. It's very, I don't have a, this lens on this camera is not great. I need to get a, Benny Blue, come back up here right now. Back it up there, badonkadonk.
Come on, Donkey Donk.
Wow, you're messy. Okay.
You are completely muddy.
He's so muddy. It's hard to see it. Benny, no, come on. It's hard to see it on camera, but the next door neighbor to this property has cleared his all the way to the creek, whereas ours is brush. Up on the property, on the ravine, down at the creek, it's all brush. He's cleared his and has it literally beautiful green grass, gorgeous. He has these like what those look like, wrought iron stairs, don't they? Like really nice quality stairs going from his property down to the creek. And my dad is just like drooling because how cool would that be? And that's what they're eventually going to do. That's probably going to take some years, but someday that'll be so cool. And up here, it's gorgeous, ridiculous. And I'm hoping that if my parents can get theirs cleared, we'll have more of a view of this, because this is just beautiful. Living his best life.
He really is.
Ben, come here. Show them how muddy you are, Ben. Oh, God, are you kidding me? Well, what do you guys think? Now that you've seen the property, did I come to you with a big announcement of 30 acres and a big farmhouse? Nope. But we've got so much going on here. We've got all this land to do so many different projects and so many things. I am considering myself, and my family of course, very blessed. And I'm very excited to get started right here on this 5-acre property. And can't wait to see where it takes us, what we accomplished this year. And I'm battling two emotions. One being, I wish I lived here, or just that I wish I lived on the property I was homesteading. That feeling with the feeling of, wow, we have so much space and so much room to do so many things. So it's like a feeling of kind of a little disappointment, which I'm going to be honest, like I'm very honest with you guys about how I'm feeling and stuff. So a little bit of disappointment, or not disappointment, but like longing, that's a better word, longing, and excitement. A little bit of both, a little bit of both. And I'm not ashamed of either, processing them. At the end of it all, I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful. We're going to be able to get a lot done here. And I'm just going to have to pay a little bit more in gas to drive out here to manage some of these things. That's all. I'm being very careful to make sure that anything that we do on this property, my parents are okay with maintaining. Like bees, for example, if we get bees, which I'm hoping to, that's something that I'll still be able to maintain and just check on periodically. But like we're thinking about getting ducks this year, my parents are going to have to manage those. I can't come out here every day to take care of the ducks. So we're talking, me and my parents, and really trying to communicate and make sure that everybody's on board and on the same page so that there are no negative feelings. And that's going to be a constant theme throughout this entire journey, because anytime you are working with somebody, family or not, you need to do that. If you want to maintain a healthy relationship where everybody wins and nobody has any negative feelings, you've got to communicate, and you've got to really be open to compromise and make sure that everybody feels seen and heard and on board. So we're going to continue doing that, but this is awesome, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and my dad while we showed you around the property. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Have faith, my friends, and keep moving forward. Bye.